All right.
We are
I think
live.
we're live. All right. Hey, what's up? Good morning. This is Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. Maybe you're watching live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, or you're listening to the rebroadcast at Regular Cat Radio on iHeartRadio. This is Sean. I'm here with JQ and Lex. We're in New York. Lex is in Bangkok. What's going on?
That was a good rundown.
Right? That's probably the best one yet.
That was solid. I felt like we were in a news studio or something. Kind of
Yeah.
very different vibe, but very good.
Well, I
Tell me
have
about the morning story. Is that what you're going to tell me? A New York morning story?
Yeah. Yes. I have a funny story already. So, Jason is visiting me here in New York City. He lives in Binghamton. Was that allowed to say? We've said it before.
Because I really don't live in Binghamton.
No, I know.
I live above Binghamton.
I know, yeah. You live in Oxford, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, everybody.
Now
I
can finally get out of hiding and come get you.
Yeah.
You blew it, Sean.
Yeah. Well, hey, I live in Hell's Kitchen, so we've narrowed it down. Anyway, Jason's staying with me because we're doing a live show tonight at the Producers Club at 9 p.m. There's going to be vendors there, weed vendors.
Tickets available.
Tickets are available. It's not just a vendor show, it's a comedy show. So you can go there, buy some things, smoke some things while you're laughing.
Eat some things?
Yeah, eat some things. Oh yeah, we're going to have King and Queen Infusions is going to be there tonight. They have infused mac and cheese and like chicken Alfredo, right?
Yeah, oh my God.
Infused and non-infused. So you can come and eat and laugh and get stoned.
They were at the festival. We did the Finger Lakes Festival.
Yeah, she was.
And I had the mac and cheese there.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's going to be good.
I think a plate of it was like 800 milligrams.
That's a lot.
Dude, that seems so dangerous to put that in such a good, like a thing that you want to overeat and it's like home. Oh man, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that would be a good disclaimer to put on the product.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a dangerous thing that we're doing, but we hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, we want you to try this, but you really should stop eating at some point.
Yeah.
Self-control.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the funny thing that happened was, because Jason is here. Oh, and I'll say is that we have 4 great comedians tonight. Pablo Escobar.
Ooh, nice.
Pablo Escobar?
Oh,
Pumpkin.
Sorry. Pumpkin Escobar. Because you were just telling that story. It's a kid you were just telling that. All right. Jason has.
I did that to him.
Yeah.
To him too.
It's got to happen all the time. But Jason's got a story about the Pablo Escobar's, the real Pablo Escobar's rhinos later.
No, hippos.
Hippos. Yeah. We'll do that later. Anyway, Pumpkin Escobar is there tonight. Josh Pallid, Kevin Sanchez, and Hurricane Hope. Anyway, okay.
Nice.
Here's the funny thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good lineup.
Here's the funny thing. All right, this morning I'm asleep. Jason's asleep. We're in separate rooms, right? In my apartment. And I got up, and you know how you kind of know someone else is awake?
Yes.
But you don't know it?
I've never said that. I've never talked to somebody about that, but yes, I did.
Yeah. I have something else to talk about later too. That the fact that you said that you've thought of something and never talked about, I have something else that I want to talk about later that I've never talked about with anyone. Anyway, I feel like you were awake.
Good chance.
I think you were awake, but then I heard Jason's alarm go off. And in spite of him already being awake, his alarm went off. And then he went, ugh.
I did.
But he was already awake. I thought it was hilarious because I do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, oh, the day begins. I couldn't get away with That's great.
I think I was playing a game on my phone this morning, just sitting there, and that's when I was like, I heard the alarm, and I'm like, oh.
What game? What game are you playing?
Left to Survive.
What's that? Zombies?
Yeah, it's a zombie game.
Mobile
Shooter.
app.
Yeah, mobile app.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, at some point,
if you guys. The story continues.
No.
Sorry.
Just at some point, we're sitting next to each other at the moment. But at some point, I'm going to go into the other room and get on another computer, just because right now I'm sitting on a stool. And if I go in the other room, I can sit in a recliner.
Yeah, that's great.
I'd rather,
Yeah.
recline.
Yeah.
Yeah, relax and do all that.
That's all I have for the beginning.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, if you guys were in if there was a zombie apocalypse, right, where it's like, oh shit, do you have like a bug out set up for you, like in New York, like if you had to bug out in New York?
Do you have a bug out bag?
I used to have like a very small, not very, like, it wasn't a good bag.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a knife in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's zombie. Yeah, you're not going to normally prepare for the zombie. So I think if a zombie does come, we're all going to be a little bit like a catch up to the curve. You know, we're all a little behind the eight ball. You know, but so don't feel bad about that.
Except for me, that you don't. I'm playing lots of zombie games.
Well, that's what made me think about it. Obviously.
Yeah.
I remember I used to think about that when I was in New York, and I was like, oh, I'm in Bay Ridge right now. So like, that's the last time I thought about it, where I was like, oh, I'll just go down to the pier and jack somebody's boat.
Right.
And, or get on somebody's boat. And, you know, like, hopefully I could just get on. I realized that I don't have to steal a boat, but yeah, get on a boat and try to get them to go whichever way is the best choice at that time.
Here's a counter argument though, because
go on.
I live by the water. I live by the Hudson. Great. I'm narrowing it down even further. And I have thought, okay, I'm close enough to the water that I can quickly find a way to get on a boat. Because I'm right by the Circle Line boats. And there's a ferry that goes to Jersey. So it's like I can get to Jersey fairly quickly and easily, I think. Yes. But here's my counter argument. Maybe you don't want to leave New York.
Go on.
In a zombie situation, because if everybody's fleeing New York, where are the zombies going to go then? They're going to go towards where people are.
It's the people who got caught behind the curve. Oh, but so you say stay in your apartment for longer than expected.
I think maybe stay here. If everybody is fleeing, maybe it's smarter to stay here. Because if people are fleeing, if live people are fleeing, maybe zombies are fleeing in that.
It's like a forest burn, right? You go where it's already burned through.
Yeah.
I got a counter argument.
Okay.
It's a zombie apocalypse. You still want to go to Jersey? Sorry, Jersey, I love you. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's not a counter argument. That's a re-argument against, because my argument is left on the table. So you just re-argue. Yeah, it's a re-argue.
You want to go to Jersey?
No, I'll just throw this by you.
So the idea wasn't bad. It was the
execution,
the wording.
It was the introduction of the idea was.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Last real zombie movie in New York was they made the zombies they made them super fast. It was Legend, right? I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
And they weren't like brain zombies, but they were kind of zombies. And then they were just chilling out in apartment buildings too, which was really creepy. You know, like they didn't keep creeping at people like that zombie television show. It's horrible to watch.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah. I it's great writing, and I got involved in it, and then I was just like, it just gets worse, like that, and that's the point of it. Then I realized that what the comic book was, and I was like, oh, this is just consistently depressing. This is horrible, and just what humanity's capable of.
I gave up on it. I gave up on it.
Yeah.
You?
I read the comic. I read the comic fully through, so I lost interest like halfway through the series. So, I mean, the series was really good and everything, but I just lost interest because I knew, and I was always judging it like, oh, that didn't happen that way. That person wasn't the person that did that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, all that stuff.
Top weapon you'd want. You get one weapon in a zombie situation.
Ooh.
It's hard to argue against a samurai sword.
Yeah.
It's the deadliest weapon in human history.
You just need to
It's a
keep
sword.
on.
And a samurai sword seems cooler, right? And I
What's
guess
that?
a little bit more manageable. Like the samurai sword, out of all swords that the dumb novices that we know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only kind of like, right? There's not, we can name like 5 swords maybe, right? But I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them. But it
Sure.
seems like the samurai sword is the most controllable, right? For a novice.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
A scimitar might be, that might be good. I don't know.
It seems strong, but again, that's the one that I'm thinking. I don't know how to wield that. It seems like
Right.
really, I almost wonder if like the old Christian, like the big, like a long sword,
Oh, too heavy.
It's a lot of energy, but you got distance. That's what you want,
I think it's too heavy though.
Yeah, you want something light. So
you want speed.
You're gonna be on the move a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it. Huh. I'm surprised you don't see more people do like a whole Roman situation, and they had to like lock up their
oh yeah,
they would get all their shields locked up and stuff.
And
you just go poof, and they could just move poof, 1 foot poof, and just move the zombies back.
I mean, the smartest thing to do is probably, those like women's defense courses where they show a guy dressing up in that suit that gets beat up on, and like the ladies just beat up. It's probably smartest to just get that and cover it in spikes and just walk into a bunch of zombies.
Sure. Yeah. They just roll around. Just stop.
Right. Just roll.
Yeah. Just roll. That's a good, like, I would think those dog trainers, those police dog suits, those would be great too, right?
Yeah.
You get to, I haven't even seen that in a movie. Let's just throw that into the zombie writing producers universe, that they should write a situation where this guy is smart enough to get a dog suit.
Have you guys ever seen the bear suit? It's like this indestructible suit that like grizzly. You could walk up to a grizzly bear and he could beat the shit out of you and nothing would happen.
There's a. I bet.
I want one of those.
It's a weird documentary because I haven't seen it in years, but I think part of the premise of the documentary is we're making fun of this guy.
Yeah. Well, he's the dude who also swung he was swinging washing machines at himself, right?
Yes.
From a tree. Yeah.
And like full size like logs, like 5-inch, like 10-inch logs, like hitting him in the chest and everything.
Yeah. See, he was ahead of his time because he would have been great for like if there was a bear epidemic where they're killing people, then that suit, the amount of energy he was putting into the suit for like such a minimal problem in the world. But maybe he's just ahead of his time and he could have repackaged it for zombies. That would have been perfect.
Yeah. I think that's
Shark Tank.
I think that's why I didn't like that they were kind of mocking him in a way, because in a way that was his go bag.
Yeah.
He was just trying to be more prepared than everyone else to the benefit of others. Cause like if you make a suit that is indestructible, everyone's going to want to buy that suit.
It'll have a use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you. There was no, it's a weird obsession that he had, but I mean, it wasn't like ruining his life. It wasn't like he was homeless because he's making a bear suit.
Yeah. And the fact that they wanted to make a documentary about him shows that there is value to what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's entertainment, but also I think it also shows how committed he was to it.
Right.
Which is why I think they probably thought he was a little nutty.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was happy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I can't get this bear suit right.
Yeah.
Lucille.
Yeah.
His wife.
And was he a little off kilter and different or unique?
Oh, I see. I don't even remember. So I probably would have liked him. I just remember he was likable.
Yeah. He was just, backwoods Canada.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, New York is a type,
Sure. Yep.
That's what I say.
Do you think the personality of New York changed after 9/11? Like, as it stayed? It definitely has changed since the 80s, right? But do you think that was a shifting of a personality too? New York used to be like, hey, how you doing? And they still got a little bit of that, but it's not nearly the rough
Well,
streets.
I'll say this. I don't know if a lot of people were saying New York strong before 9/11. Maybe they were.
Mm.
And so I don't know if like, hey, we're neighbors was a as openly spoken part of the New York mentality pre 9/11.
How about this? If 9/11 didn't happen, when this whole COVID thing happened, do you think that they'd be all clapping and cheering outside the windows for first responders? Or do you think they'd be like, oh, this fucking quarantine sucks, man. How you do?
I don't know.
Ooh. Well, how's it there? You guys didn't have a 9/11 there.
Because there was, look, you know what? It's a good point. One of those things where I think about this, not to be too negative, but like it's annoying that the government thinks that when there's a problem like COVID happening, that they can't just be honest with the population because they think there's going to be some kind of panic attack, some kind of freak out. But what's proven in human history, when there is a tragedy that's unexpected and they can't manipulate it until after the fact, when a lot of human life is lost and there's a real tragedy, we all bond together naturally. We do it. There's not this rush out. There's no bug out of New York. When 9/11 happened, there wasn't a bug out, I mean, I'm just putting it together. I didn't think about talking about bug out, but right? I mean, isn't it interesting? Our human nature is to help each other, right? And so, but then if there's I think this mishandling of COVID, and now I feel like the narrative is now attacking the people who are suffering the most, and those people who are suffering the most are fighting each other, which is instead of pointing up towards the elites and the decision makers, and they're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong, and they're not respecting human nature, which is we don't freak out like that. We actually bond together and love each other and help each other more.
Well, I think it's human nature for some people to help, but I think it's also human nature for some people to harm. So I don't think it's a blanket like, hey, we are all neighbors and we love each other. I
agree that there's bad people
because
people who take advantage of situations.
Situations, yeah.
Well, I mean, because like at the beginning, it was a news story that there was a rush for toilet paper.
And then everybody went out and bought toilet paper.
No. But that they were reporting something that already happened. Like maybe they exacerbated it a little bit by talking about it, but it was already there. That was human nature to already hoard. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think we can say that like the media created the hoard urge, because the hoard urge happened. But also but also the neighborly urge happened as well. I mean, so both things were going on.
Yeah. I would assume if somebody asked you, hey, I need some toilet paper, you wouldn't even need to charge them for it, honestly. Right. If it was the real pandemic of missing toilet paper, I'm almost certain people wouldn't go without toilet paper, But you're right. But you're right about that. That's a good thought. I was also saying, like, I'm not talking about the media, but because the media is a hype thing and it's fear sells. But just say the government saying like, hey, this is something that we never gone through before. We might not get this exactly right, but the best information right now is wear a mask or don't wear a mask, or like, hey, if you're scared of vaccines, like we're gonna sell you the information more instead of just arguing about it. It'd be more about just like, yeah, we fucked up before. It's weird that we can't apologize in government things, in politics especially. But I really think that if somebody did do that, they'd be successful. And I hope like maybe someday we could be pragmatic about, I think about it because I still follow Bitcoin, and I hope you guys are crushing it. It's going really well.
I haven't checked.
It's interesting. It just made a retracement, but it's on an all-time high.
I'm up, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't feel that I'm crushing.
At least I think you guys have more altcoins than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I have a lot of altcoins, but most of my stuff is in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
So Bitcoin is going, but it's the biggest one, so it moves slower. So if it goes up 20, it's gone up, double since July. And in the last like 2 weeks where it really confirmed it, it made the new all-time high, it went up like, 20%, I think, so, but Ethereum's sitting around, and Ethereum is not going to kick off until a month after. That's when it really goes, is about a month after Bitcoin peaks. So all the other things run after Bitcoin. Right. What happens is the people who didn't get in at the bottom, like you guys did, we got kind of middle, right? But the people who are going to go in at the top, as they're buying those coins, people are moving they're selling their Bitcoin to the people at the top and moving it into altcoins. Right. And then people who don't know what they're doing will see all the altcoins moving. So then they'll move and they'll FOMO out of the Bitcoin and then buy the altcoins from all the people who have already moved their Bitcoin into altcoins. And then you do whatever you want with it. Then you got to, which is, so yeah, don't stress, because the good thing is that Bitcoin just made a new all-time high. Sure. And so it confirmed that the season keeps going, or at least if anything, say it did top out now, which it really doesn't seem like it will. If it say crash back down to 30,000 or 40,000, it wouldn't go like that quick. But the altcoins would, at least, which is where most of your money is. Bitcoin will drop maybe 50% at most, but the altcoins will then run. They'll drop, but then they'll run if this was the top. So, I mean, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Anyway, one of the reasons why I thought about it was because the government, I know I'm rented, is one of the government, they're dishonest about the flow of money. I think it seems like that. I think that's also one of the reasons why the right, because they're the ones who are already, these conservatives and older people with money in their stocks and stuff, why they distrust the government so much is because the government really is dishonest with their the fiscal policies, Yeah. And so it just generates more and more distrust, which then trickles down to the consumer, who then feels like they have to hoard because nobody's there to really take care of them. All the institutions are really there to just use them to make sure that you're a consumer. Right?
I don't, I'll be honest, I don't know what to respond to. Because you covered so much. Yeah. Yeah. All I can say is that I remember thinking I Am Legend was a pretty okay movie, but I have no interest in rewatching it.
Yeah. Well, I cry when the dog gets killed.
Oh yeah. Sure. Oh my God.
That's a rough one. That's one of the that's a killer.
Yeah. Also no interest in seeing that again. Yeah.
If I watch a zombie movie, I watch it once and I'm pretty good with it, I thought I actually was entertained by Z World. It was Z World? Yeah.
World War Z.
World War Z.
Saw it once. I have which I feel like is how I treat movies these days in a way. Like I saw The Green Knight in the theater. Jason just watched it at home. I was like, wow, this movie, Green Knight, it's with Dev Patel and it's the retelling of Sir Gawain, right?
Yeah, Sir Gawain of the Green Knight. It's a 13th century medieval story about how King Arthur's nephew, how he got the throne. Yeah, basically. Okay.
And so after King Arthur eats it.
Yeah.
It's so good, and I think it's even better than the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because
it's shorter.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a long movie. It's like some parts of it are a bit of a drag, but you're just so interested because you don't know where the story is going to go. You don't know how he's going to win.
It's a medieval acid trip.
Yeah. And Lord of the Rings is just like, okay, they're going on this path, they're going on this path, they're going on this path. They're going to all get to where they're going in a way. But I kind of don't know if I need to see it again. But I feel like the one movie that I have been thinking about that I do want to rewatch, and it is a zombie movie, it's Dawn of the Dead.
Ooh.
this original 70s one where they're stuck in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long movie, but I don't know. It's so good.
I know that I watched it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it was a long time ago. So I just remember them. Is that the first time that wasn't the dude? What was it? The dude with the chainsaw arm? No, you know that series, and
that's Ash.
That's Sam.
Yeah,
Sam Raimi's Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Did he ever do a mall?
He used to work at a mall.
Are you talking about Sam Raimi or George Romero?
The second one, the one that I know more of, because I just remember if that was that actor, or I just remember there was an actor, but it wasn't him.
I know what you're thinking about. The Bruce Campbell, who is in Evil Dead 1 and 2 and Army of Darkness, there's scenes of him working at a place called S-Mart.
Yes.
That's what you're thinking about.
Yeah. And then there's wasn't there there was an actor who ended up being like a comedic actor in the 70s movie that you first said, Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Okay. There's an actor who's like, I think he was tall and he was a real dick in the movie.
Oh. A tall dick character? Is this a horror film? I don't know.
Yeah, no, he had like a shotgun. I think he was in the mall with the shotgun too.
Oh.
Am I wrong? I don't know. Or bat. I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
I just trying to think of the actor because he ended up being like, it was such an out of character but I remember it was an out of character that I thought.
Scott Rainier?
I don't know, show a picture to Sean and then maybe he could tell me.
These are the original actors of.
Oh, are you talking about characters that were in the movie Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's a real dick. Oh, well, Tom Savini is an actor that's in the film that's the leader of the biker gang, but he's also the makeup effect guy.
Oh, that's cool. It's cool to know.
You know what? I think that's partly why I like the movie so much, because I know I am aware of it being very low budget. I'm aware of it being like, it's like independent filmmaking. It's not big Hollywood shit. It's which, I mean, there's big Hollywood stuff that isn't shit. But I like the metaphor of struggling artists and filmmakers trying to make something. And the thing that they're trying to make is about people trying to survive against unsurmountable odds. In this case, it's zombies. Yeah. I don't know. It's like a beautiful...
That's a good metaphor. I could enjoy zombies. Yeah.
And like the fact that I know that this actor... And I know this just from friends who are fans and they talk about it. I know that this actor, he's also the makeup artist. I don't know. It's just like makes it more interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, there's a lot of people in the original Dawn of the Dead that I didn't even know were alive back then. But they're probably like kids.
What?
Like this guy, Jake Weber?
Wait a minute. You just said, though, that there are a lot of people in this movie that I didn't even know that they were
alive
in the movie or alive.
Alive back then. I said alive back then.
That's like when you can say that about people that you just meet. They're just like, I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah, wow.
Now or even years ago.
Like years, decades, I didn't believe you were alive.
Yeah.
That's a funny thing to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Start saying that when you meet people.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
I didn't know. Well, all right. Speaking of meeting people, I have gone to 3 conventions recently.
Yes.
2 of them cannabis related, 1 of them not cannabis related. And I don't know. It's fun. I think I'm going to start doing these more. I think you guys should try to figure out a way to do it too. Because I took a video camera. Like yesterday, I went to the Small Business Expo, and I just met people, and I was just like, "Tell me about your business on camera in like a minute or less." and I don't know. I think I got some good footage out of it.
I watched some.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I went. I remember when I was in my 20s, and Dave Faz and Matt McGovner. Well, Dave Faz had to go to this convention. It was like a food vendor convention.
I've been to that one.
Okay. It was that's a good one. It was like, food and vendor. It was like restaurant. I think it was a lot of restaurants there, and because he was making plastic signs that would go at like Chinese restaurants. Like that's a classic one, right?
Yeah.
Those like backlit, and he'd do the prints in front of it and stuff like that. He was working in a company there, so they flew him out to Chicago to be a vendor, and he had these like vendor things, and it's really expensive to go when you're not. So me and Matt drove all the way from New York to Chicago. I got sick the first day, but I won't, and it's a good story, but I won't go into it. Yeah. That's not the point this time.
Right.
But when I was not feeling lousy, we went one day to the convention, and it was really dope. You know, I wouldn't want to go for something for like lighting, maybe because it's artistic. You're right. But the food and beer. And then we had to lie, so we didn't have to pay for like the full. We were like, we were vendors too.
Right.
We didn't want to have to, so we could only pay like $20. And then I knew a company that I insured, so I just said I worked for them. And then somebody almost called us out, and I actually guessed. It was like, it was awesome. It worked out. I almost got caught, and I didn't. And I thought it was some money. But
what did you guess?
He lied with more lies.
Oh, that's what it is. We said that we owned a bar in New York, and then he asked us who our vendor was already, our distributor was. And I had an insurance company. I was working with a guy who did that. So I just said that name, like right off the top of my head.
Nice.
And it blew Matt's brain open. He was just like, he was like, dude, I thought we were in so much trouble. And then you just said that, and it worked out. And then we got to eat ostrich.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Like right off the bird?
Right off the bird.
Yeah. They had, dude, it's delicious.
They're
like filet mignon things. It's red meat.
I've had an ostrich burger before. So the reason that I know the food vendor thing, I live by the Javits Center. Fuck. Now I'm even letting people know further.
Really it down. In one episode too.
I know.
Really easy.
Hey, 27th floor, whatever. That's all I'm going to say about it. But anyway, my friend Rick, who and his wife, from Porking Goods, they went to the food vendor show like 2 years ago. So I just walked around in it. Anyway, so that's what I have been to that show.
Did you get any food? You didn't get to have any snacks or?
I don't think so. I helped him carry some stuff in, and then I helped them tear down their thing. Their display. I don't think I did. But anyway, I went to the Benzinga Cannabis thing 2 weeks ago, and there was food there. Anyway.
Ooh, that's cool.
This is
all edibles or regular food?
No, like food. It was cannabis big money. It was like venture capitalists and stuff. It was interesting to go to for seeing the different side of it. But I did meet some interesting people. But anyway,
I guess it's also necessary because people have to learn the business. It just kind of stinks that old business is getting in. I just hope enough new people get through the gate.
Of course, yeah. Selfishly, you think that because we're also new people. But I know what you're saying. It's a social equity thing, and that is like huge. And I did talk to some people about that, and I got sort of like half answers from people about diversity and stuff like that. Anyway, the reason I think conventions are good for us is because like I went to this small business convention yesterday, and I met a lady who runs a nonprofit that they make T-shirts and they do printing on like products for people, but they hire employees who are on the spectrum, and they train this population of people to like join the workforce.
Perfect.
And it's like, I think the more people like this we meet, like if we went to an aluminum siding convention, we might meet a few guys at a table and ladies as well, and that we click with, and they're like, we want to invite you to the factory to watch how we make aluminum siding. Like that is like fascinating content. I'm into it too. Yeah. Like that's why
I love that.
That's why I think going to these conventions are fun, because it's like it's such a stupid way to say it, but it's like an unknown adventure that I'm opening ourselves to get into,
because you don't know if you'll enjoy it or not, but you do know you'll find somebody that might get us an adventure. If anything, we like it, but at worst, at best, we go on an adventure.
So there's another cannabis specific thing in 2 weeks that I got a press pass to.
Cool.
But I want to go to non-cannabis things too.
I'm down. Yeah, that's interesting. That's cool.
I think now that I have,
what would be a one that you? What's a top? Give me one that you hope that they have, and maybe one that you like. And then I'll keep thinking of like a weird one.
I know the answer already. I want to go to the boat show. That's the top convention I want to go to. I want to go to the boat show. I mean, I know that's not like a business to business convention. I think that was your question.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's a good one. I've been to the boat show.
Yeah.
I was a vendor at the boat show because I was Allstate. When I worked for my dad when I was a teenager. Yeah. And we had to draw people in.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I don't. I wanted you to not move because the way you were sitting, tilt your head up a little. The ring light is in your one sunglass. I wanted it in the one sunglass. Yeah. But it was in the middle. I should have just let you talk. Hold on. You look like a cyborg. I gotta take your screen.
Is that it?
Yeah, I did it. All right.
Got it. You do.
Okay. All right.
We need to colorize that a little red.
Yeah. All right. You were working at the boat show for your dad.
Yeah, we did the boat show, and so they had a pond set up. Allstate had a pond set up with a whole bunch of goldfish in it, and then you could take a hook for free and try to get a fish, and you have a little fish bait that you put on it. But none of these fish were eating it. And what some people did, which is horrible, was the only person who I saw caught fish was some kid who was like pulling the thing, and so it was just hooking the fish, from its side instead of it actually eating it, But it was pretty lame deal. It was a pretty lame setup. I mean, I'm selling insurance with a bunch of goldfish swimming inside. It was weird. Yeah. But the boats are dope.
It would be a funny Stoner Morning Show film is us going to the boat show. And we're all excited about going to the boat show. It's us, Stoner Morning Show. Yes. We're going to the boat show. But then there's a twist that the audience does not see coming. It's that we're there to free the water skiing squirrel.
Yeah, we want to make him sign a consent form.
Sure.
See how he's being treated, something like that. Make sure he's
It's a heist film with heart.
Okay, I like it. That's a good movie. I was going to say, it distracted me though because I not being as silly. I think a boat show, why it's so big is because it's for super rich people. That's what it is. I think it's a big network.
I've been to the Miami Boat Show, which is the biggest boat show in the world.
Look at this guy.
And that's like Comic-Con in San Diego.
Yeah.
But for boats.
Yeah. And it's definitely for rich people and like companies to come by. Like companies that have like bigger boats and they want to buy smaller boats to put on the bigger boats and take them with them. Yeah. So
we should get a table at the boat show, and it's the shittiest table, and we're the people that clean barnacles off of rich people's boats.
Scrapers.
We're scrapers. And we don't have flyers.
Nope.
We can just give you
tools.
Tools. Well, we didn't bring our tools, but we just have flip phones. No business cards. No.
We take selfies with them, and then we text it to them back so they know who we are.
Yeah.
All right. That's how we swap information. We take selfies, and then we take that's good.
Yeah. Kelly Renee says good morning from Canada. Good morning, Kelly.
What's up, Canada?
What's up, Kelly?
Kelly, Canada.
Yeah.
And Christine is our friend Christine is watching, and she laughed and she said Lex looks like a pirate in that moment when I screenshotted you.
Right.
If you're watching live, sorry we didn't get to the comments sooner. We barely do. And if you're listening on iHeartRadio, regular cat radio,
Yes.
try tuning in
Welcome.
live and commenting. Yeah, but also welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm going to cross off some of the things I had on my talk list.
Nice.
That I've gotten to. Oh, and I guess we can share that there's no guests lined up.
Yeah.
Right.
This is an us day.
An us day.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring up Bitcoin, though I brought it up in that rant. But I mean, we haven't had that. So, are you guys paying attention to it? Do you guys know what the storylines are going on with and everything?
No.
You mean, are we aware who's pumping it up? A little bit.
Who's pumping it? I haven't been following.
Oh well, recently Bitcoin got an ETF, so that's what gave it the reason to. But
yeah,
I honestly believe in magic when I watch this. It's so that they could actually trade it on the stock market. It's I don't know what the thing is short for, but in the ETF, the acronym stands for.
Right.
But it's like people can bet on the futures. It's a futures trade, so it's some kind of stock markety betting, gambling thing that people can do with it. The only catch is it's still just traded on with cash. So nobody's actually buying more Bitcoin except for the people who know that Bitcoin is going that way. When it really will pump is when they have Bitcoin futures, an ETF that is that they have to actually hold physical Bitcoin or whatever, like actually have it. Because really what it is, it's just a betting. That's what it is. People are using cash and they're betting on how expensive Bitcoin will get, in the future, or how low it'll be in the future.
Right.
So really what it is just a gambling thing. But that's the narrative. But I mean, I honestly when watching it, it's just math. It just really looks just like math. It's crazy.
Couldn't you say anything is a gambling thing in a way? It's just like, I'm going out to meet a woman that I might like enough that we might get married, and maybe we both have the same mindset of whether we want a family or not, and maybe we'll stick it out for the rest of our lives, or maybe I don't know. It's all
everything
a
is risk.
Yeah. I've never played that board game. Never.
No, really?
Never.
I used to love that game. I loved Risk. It's a real nerdy game. It's fun.
I think I had a friend who had that board game, and we tried playing it. I think when we were too young. Yeah. And then we were just like, we're done. And I think I never got into it. Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to thank Dr. Kendrick for watching on YouTube. I know where we never get to watch the stream on there and follow the comments on there, but I've been trying. We're trying.
Oh yeah, thank
you for supporting us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you. So one time I'm playing Risk with my best friend growing up, Micah Bum, and this other guy, Mike Alita, who is like in the Jehovah's Witness congregation, who I think like my sister. So he'd always be hanging out. But he's a good dude. He's just older than us.
Mike Alita.
And
good name.
So he's like, I remember him, we're on the floor in my den, and he's laying on his side, his hip, like that with his legs out. And he was just joking with us about like not cheating or anything like that. And we're like, we're not going to cheat because like, what's the point of playing a game if you're going to cheat, right? But once he brought it up, then we started taking all the pieces from our armies and other people's armies. That's how you have it. You have little pieces of armies on the board. We were taking different colors, not his, and throwing them in his pocket because he was on his hip. This one pocket was open a little bit, and we're throwing up pocket. And then we obviously cheated or something, so that he said, "Hey, you guys are cheating." And we're like, nobody's cheating here. Everybody empty their pockets. And we did. And
Wow.
he was like, what? Laughed hysterically. It was so great.
And you know what's even better about that is because he was older.
Yeah, he was. He was like, so we coined the term put pocketing, and we were like, yeah, we put pocketed you.
Wow.
Which now is a thing. I put pocket people all the time. Yeah.
Like you put your wallet in someone else's pocket and then you accuse them of picking your pocket?
No, like I'll slip a dollar in the pocket. I'll put a business card in the pocket.
Oh.
A piece of gum, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, just odd things. If I have it in my pocket and I don't need it, or I think it might be funny or useful, then I'll just put it in a pocket.
This T-shirt is kind of a put pocket.
Oh, I wanted to ask what that said. SaleEdibles.com. Now I can see it.
Yeah. Did I tell you about this website?
Yes, I saw it on the post. I think I saw it on the post.
Got it. Okay.
Post. But you haven't. But you can tell me about the actual thing. I think I only saw it on post.
Well, the website SaleEdibles.com. It's it's a website that forwards to my website. I bought the domain name because I thought it was a funny. Yeah, you know, I might wear this to the next cannabis convention I go to. Fuck it.
I like it. Yeah.
But
you're not selling it. It just goes to yours. It just goes to Sean Wickens.
It goes to SeanWickens.com. Yeah.
Very funny. I like it.
I'd
still eat them. By the way, everybody eats stale edibles. Nobody throws out stale edibles. Yeah.
Maybe not stale gummies, but although you could grind them up, a stale gummy, and like sprinkle it on, I don't know, toast or in your coffee or something.
I put it in my armpit and let it sit for a couple minutes, and it usually softens up. You know.
Yeah, it sounds like that works.
Hey, if it works for you, man.
Yeah. No other comment.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, all right. Well, while Jason's on the phone, I was about to move to the other room so I could be more comfortable, but now I'm in the comfy chair over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the thing that I wanted to talk about that I've thought about before, but I've never spoken about. And it's that, you know how somebody is just like, if you hear a startling story about a friend of yours, and sometimes the inclination is just like, oh, I can't believe it. I just saw them, right?
Yeah.
But
you definitely go back to the last time you thought of it, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, oh, did you hear Billy broke his leg? Oh, I didn't know Billy broke his leg. I just saw him. But then somebody else is like, well, I just saw them. They don't They don't say that.
Yes.
But it's like my just is sooner than yours. So I feel like we should alter the English.
A funny way to think of that.
Yeah, I think we should alter the English language. That if you just immediately had breakfast.
Yeah.
Like if you just finished breakfast.
Like it's literally.
Yeah.
The moment
you should say that you just finished breakfast. I think there's three ranges of just. It's just, and then just, and then just. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe triple just is the better way to put it. And double just.
I bet you Germans already have words for those.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They're really good with extra words.
Let's see if Jason knows it.
What?
By I don't know. Jason knows random stuff. Do you know if in the German language they have words that determine the length of the brevity of just?
I have a friend who could probably
find out.
Explain it to me, but I think he's actually in Germany right now.
Oh, okay. Because I think that maybe somebody watching knows, or maybe somebody who's listening on Monday can.
Yeah, anybody can comment on the YouTube channel.
But I think that there's a difference between I just did something, I just did something, and then you just got off the phone.
Yes.
Three justs. Triple just is like
triple just. Yeah.
You triple just got off the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think a double just would be?
Like yesterday.
What's that middle range? Okay, yeah.
Well,
okay.
I don't know.
Last week? Can you give him a week?
Yeah, within the last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Or month. I don't know. It's all relative.
It's relative. That's the tough part with the justice.
Yeah, I know. Like, we're not going to get closer to absolute truth with it, or we're not going to hit absolute truth with this adjustment in the English language, but we'll get closer.
Yeah. And it can be a convenience to everybody. That extra syllable will make our moments easier in life in the future.
Right. Maybe I should just start saying stuff like that.
I'd be open to it. I know if you did it, it'd be easier for me to do it.
Okay.
So maybe I'll make that effort because now I know it'd be easier for you to do it.
All right. And if I talk about this on stage in joke form, but I really follow up on it for real, like that in and of itself will, reinforce me to do it.
If you do that, I will guarantee you this, that I will be, if I go on after you in that same show, I will talk about this conversation and just let them know that that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up, is that now I'm helping them out so that they could start spreading the word about the triple just and double justs.
Yeah. And to just even strengthen this whole like reaffirming thing. If this happens and I have the opportunity to then re-go on after you just to talk about something else that you said, like, hey, we all saw that I talked about something and then Lex came up here and sort of reaffirmed it. Yeah. I want to now do that for something else that Lex said, just to sort of keep this something separate.
Going. Yeah.
Just to let everyone know that we mean what we're talking about.
Yeah. And we got each other's backs.
Jason is writing something. Oh, wait a minute.
I just write.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This wasn't something for me. All right. Sorry. Okay.
Now I can put it out of my head and stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote it down.
I apologize for putting my male gaze on something that you were writing for you.
Sorry. I forced it. Your writing utensil.
That's true.
Can I just thought of something, how like nobody talks about the guy who invented the W, right? It's the only letter that actually is made out of words.
Yeah.
But yet how convenient is the W? Like how often? It's not one of those like throwaway letters.
No.
That you have in the alphabet, like an X or a Y, like it's X true. Or a Q.
I wouldn't call
W's are all over the place.
Yeah, I wouldn't call W a blue chip letter, but it's definitely up there. It's a Fortune.
Can I sell it as a blue chip?
It's a Fortune 500. Yeah, okay.
It's not going to be a vowel. It's not.
You're
easy.
right.
All right, it's not a vowel. But as a consonant, listen, you wouldn't have the like. What do you get? The five. If you're going to do a scene acting, what do you want to know? What's the information?
The line.
The five what? The five W's.
Right.
Who, what, where, when, why?
Yeah.
We can't even ask questions without the W.
That's a good
argument. All
of
a sudden we're in a totalitarian government without the letter W.
Yeah. That's a good argument. All right.
So anyway, I'm just saying this so that we can get this triple just situation going on, because I'm down for that.
Good. All right. I scratched that off the list. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad you wrote it down.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the other room pretty soon.
Yeah.
Just letting you know. Yeah.
I just want Jay triple just left his arms up. And I don't know if that's why you're deciding to leave like that now. But,
no, it was actually, I told myself that I was going to try to give a full hour in this configuration and then head over for the last hour.
All right. How comfortable was that stool you're sitting in?
Not so comfortable.
It's not too bad, but it'd be nice to be able to lean back. Sure, I don't understand why bars ever have stools that you can't lean back. It's like they don't want you to hang out there.
Yeah, I don't like it. Hey,
maybe they're helping you though.
While you go set up your computer, I have a question for Jay that'll entertain him.
I'll do it.
All right. See you later.
Hey, Jay, remember the first time we ever went to McSorley's pub?
Yeah.
Tell me your perspective of that, and then I'll see if I remember it the same way. You tell it first.
Do you
remember what happened to you?
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah.
I think I was drinking a lot back then. I drank a lot.
You and me both. And
Um,
McSorley's was our go-to because it was like it
yeah,
felt like a local. It was delicious.
that was our that
Yeah,
was our
because you could
hangout.
buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy it. Well, I'm just saying, just the beer itself. We could buy it at beer depots out on the island. You know, they started selling it around our age of drinking. I was excited to go. You know, like when I was found out it's the oldest. It's the oldest pub in America, right? Or is it New York?
In New York, in New York, it's the
Okay,
oldest pub in New York, I think.
all right. So go ahead.
Um,
Now you talk again.
I got lots of stories. Where the first time I went there, I think I was meeting you there, and I had left
Yeah.
work early,
Okay.
and before Scott and Steve and all them,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and so
Were we going to a Rangers game? Is that why those guys were there? Or were we just hanging out?
oh
Okay.
no,
Okay. If you don't know.
no, that's a different time. We've
Okay.
been there so many times. Our first time going there, I think
Mm-hmm.
we seen Black 47 was playing.
Okay.
They're a crazy, like, awesome, like, punkish Irish band.
Yep.
So we seen them, and we were drinking, hang out at a table. I think we were singing that song Alice, Alice, who the fuck is Alice? Whenever that
I
came
remember
up.
that.
And then as the I started dancing with this chick and something, and I
Yeah.
think
We started moving forward from the back of the pub to the front of it.
yeah,
Like standing up, right? Yeah.
I think you guys were leaving and everything. We were all leaving, and then some chick just wanted to dance with me, and I was just dancing with her, and then she's like, "No,
Okay.
stay with me," and
Okay.
then I and I think I left with her, but I didn't wind up going home with her or something like that. I was just like, oh, whatever. I got to go find my friends or something like that.
This is the part that I remember. This is the part that I was hoping you'd remember. Was there was a time when we were at McSorley's. I thought it was the first time because it was, and you were leaning back on a stool. You were leaning back on a stool, and the bartender came from behind the bar. He didn't tell you to sit up or anything like that, but he came out and kicked the bar stool from out under you. Do you remember that?
No.
That had to have been you. I swear I tell that story and it was you. So I wonder who it was.
I'll take it. Sounds like a good story. I don't think that was me though.
Well, we were drinking for a while, so you might not. I mean, you might not remember. I'll have to throw this by like Matt or somebody else who might have been there.
Why did he kick out the stool?
Because you were sitting on the stool and leaning back really far, like kind of like a rocking chair kind of situation. And I don't remember him telling you to ever not sit right on the stool. He just came from out behind the bar, walked around, kicked the stool out from under you, so you fell right on your ass and like fell back. And then he was like, if you're going to sit at the bar, sit at the bar. And that was that. And then we all laughed at you because you weren't hurt. And then we kept drinking. It was fine.
I mean, it could have been me if we were drinking a lot. But I mean,
dude, were you there when we were at Caroline's, the comedy club, before I did comedy, and I didn't know we were such assholes? And I got drunk. I was like underage and got drunk. We went to Caroline's Comedy Club with like the Meyer boys.
Oh
were
yeah,
you there that night?
That's when you left and like went on your adventure. We turned around to hop in a cab and we're like, "Where's Lex?" And you were like, "I'm out of here." And you hopped in your own cab and just took off.
Just waved. Yeah, that was crazy.
And then you met up like hours later. And we're like, "What happened to you?"
I didn't see you guys. All right, so I'll say this. I never said this on stage or anything, but this is from after I ditched you guys. I didn't know I ditched you guys because I was that drunk. I was blacked out. And I jumped in a cab and I don't remember getting out of the cab. What I remember is I was walking south. I had to walk south because the numbers were in the hundreds, right? So I think I went up to Harlem, but I kept walking and walking. And that night was a nor'easter. And so you guys,
I remember it was cold, yeah. And you had your big overcoat thing on.
I had an overcoat and I had like a cabbie cap on, and it was pouring rain. But it wasn't that cold. It was probably around this time of year, but it wasn't that cold that night. But it was rain, like pouring, and I was drenched. And I stopped. I threw up, in like a garbage pail or something like that. And then I walked over and it was like brownstone. And now I remember where I was. I started coming to, and I just stopped and I sat down on like a brownstone, right? And I'm just sitting there. This is how much of a mess I looked. Is I was sitting on the brownstone, and these people. This is why I know where it was. I had to look it up. They had just gotten out of a restaurant that I used to know the name of all the time, and so it was up in like the 70s, and I was sitting on the stoops, and these guys came out from the restaurant, and they were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, I just shook my head no, and then I didn't even answer them. I just shook my head, and then they were like, "Do you know where you're going?" And I was like, "No." And then they handed me their leftover food and $2. They thought I was homeless, and I was like, and I ate the French fries. I remember I ate the French fries, and then I was really coming to. So I took a cab, so then I realized how far I was, and it was like the last train back to Long Island was what, like one? I think it's like
3 in the morning.
3 in the morning, and then you have to wait till 6.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta get the F back to Madison, MSG. So I had the cab, went back to MSG, and I probably overpaid the cab because when I got home, the only money I had was the $2 that the lady gave me. That was it. But I got home, and you guys took my car keys, so I couldn't drive, which is a smart move because I would have when I got back to Long Island. My car wasn't in the parking lot. I mean, my car was in the parking lot, but I don't know, maybe no. Whoever wasn't drinking used my car to go home.
I think it was me. I think I had your car.
All right, that's right. And then we went to like the Friels the next day. Yep. And that's when because everybody's power was out, nobody's phones were working because of nor'easter. So I thought up until the whole next day, when I woke up the next day, all my clothes, I got naked in my garage, and I passed out in my living room, and my sister woke me up because I was all wet. So I emptied all my clothes in the garage, and I fell asleep naked in the living room, dude. And my sister woke me up, and I ran up to my room, and thank goodness it wasn't my parents. And then, I didn't talk to you guys until like 6 or 7 o'clock the next day at that party. And I thought you guys ditched me. So I was so steaming. I was so angry. Oh, and I also heard Mark Streibel and Mike Ali saw me at the Garden at Penn Station waiting for the train, and I'm like I was like sleeping by a garbage pail, and they didn't help me. He didn't help me make sure I got on the train or anything. Horrible friends. I love them, but they were just like, yeah, there's Lex sleeping in Penn Station like a homeless person. Oh man, that's crazy. That's funny. I feel bad. The only thing I feel guilty about in that story was the night started out with going to Caroline's Comedy Club, and I got so hammered on Long Island iced teas there.
Yeah.
And
was it Long Island iced teas or the zombies?
I remember Long Island iced teas because at that time, like you said, we were heavy drinkers, so I was just looking to get fucked up. And then Phil Hart was there, and I went to the bathroom, and they wouldn't let me get back in because I was drinking, because I was obviously drunk, but I wasn't being loud or heckling, but maybe I was because I was drunk. I don't remember. Now, as a comic, I feel so bad about that. But they didn't let me back in. And Caroline Ray was the comic. I remember that. That's why I don't think I was that drunk yet. But obviously I was because you eventually blacked out. But Phil Hart,
think you were heckling her. I remember you heckling her.
No, what it was she's married to a Puerto Rican, and she asked who Puerto Rican here, and then the whole fucking table lost it. They're like, oh, we got a Puerto Rican here. And Phil was saying shit, like he was probably dropping spick and stuff like that.
Yep.
And because he would at the time. And hey, my best friend was a racist. No, I like that. I gave him the S card. So, but he also jumped up when they didn't let me back in. Because that's what annoyed me, was I wasn't the one saying shit. It was like Phil or everybody else at the table. And
we'll have to get Caroline Ray on
and see if she
I would love to
remembers.
apologize to her.
Yeah.
But this is what happened. Phil jumps up and he goes, "You can't kick him out. You got him drunk. He's underage. Like, it's your fault anyway." And I'm like right there. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not getting back. I wasn't even arguing. Yeah.
Brilliant plan. Did that guy become a lawyer? He's got a good argument.
He's genius.
Yeah.
He's a fireman now.
Don, I'll buy you a Long Island iced tea the next time I see you.
Ooh.
Those are his favorite drinks.
It's like candy. I don't know if Phil drinks anymore. Phil was a fireman. He became a fireman the first week. He was going through he was like a probie during 9/11. And then he got rheumatoid arthritis, which gave him like a gluten allergy. He didn't know it for a while. So he had really fucked up for like 2 years. And then he was already kind of healthy dude, but then he stopped eating wheat and gluten stuff. And now he's like all better. From last I heard.
I think that lawyers and firemen are kind of the same. There's something similar about them. I don't know what it is.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Some
you find
lawyers.
that. I don't know. All right.
Some lawyers.
I guess
maybe
go ahead.
Maybe it's criminal defense attorneys are kind of
that's what I was going to say.
Firemen.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
I was just reading about one of those. I love the stories of guys who were in prison who become lawyers and then get themselves out. Or at least I'm inspired by those. I hate hearing about them, but I'm inspired by those stories of guys who got thrown into a situation. Instead of becoming just a victim, they bettered themselves until they got out of the situation.
Yeah.
Dope. Very dope.
It shows that you can do anything if you are personally motivated. You know what I mean? Like I'm not motivated to become a doctor, but people who become doctors, they were personally motivated to do it.
Yeah.
So you just if you're in a situation where you don't want to do something, you just have to trick yourself to be motivated, I guess.
So like if you're in the woods and you feel like bears are a problem, start working on a bear suit or something like that. You know? Just like
Nice.
You're not stuck. You just make yourself better, stronger by any means necessary to get out of the situation.
Criminals who are or I shouldn't say criminals, people who are wrongfully convicted.
Yes.
Are like the bear suit wearers of the lawyer world.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean the ones that are studying to become lawyers themselves, or
are like the guy in the documentary. Yeah.
Exactly. Jeez, I feel like we're figuring the world out finally.
Yeah. It's all making those connections.
Yeah.
Sean, do you need your list?
Nah, keep it. I forgot it. I'll be fine. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of lawyers, this is something that's on the list.
All right. I get to cross it off.
And it's
good job, Jake. Keep that ledger handy.
That's right. So I was in Scranton last weekend. You know, we were doing a 24-hour telethon for our friend Johnny Acupinti. We only got a grand. Actually, we might have hit over $1,000. I think people still donated this week. Anyway, I was down in Scranton, and I was hanging out with my friend Adele, who I met on a previous trip. I crashed with her. She's a couch surfing connection now friend. Anyway, I was hanging out with her. I was staying with her because I can't stay with Johnny because his rooms they're cleaning out the house because they're about to get foreclosed on. Anyway, and I was talking to Adele's neighbor. Jay, do you remember Adele's neighbor? You guys smoked weed while you were there. I was asleep, I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So he is from Haiti originally. And Haiti is like a country that's always been going through like turmoil. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
And there's like race relation problems there. It's like a class system. There's
they're going through it now, right? They're talking about kidnapping people, right? Or holding people for ransom a lot now.
Right. It's like
or
there's
at least
like a
that's
big,
the
yeah,
story.
there's a big income I don't know. There's like income disparity there. Anyway, Adele's neighbor is the son of a wealthy white man and a poor black woman. And he was put on a plane when he was 13 and sent off to New York to live with somebody. He's
Hmm.
never had papers whatsoever.
Oh,
And he eventually got into some bad things and he was like, I got to get out of here. He somehow randomly chose Scranton, PA, lives there,
mm-hmm.
has lived there
Mm-hmm.
for 20 years. He has 2 sons. He's a
Hmm.
single father.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to talk to an immigration lawyer to figure
About how
out
to
how to get his papers
asylum.
because I mean maybe that's the answer, but his rich white father who passed away may have left him
Yeah.
money, but he doesn't
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting
And
too.
like that is seemingly insurmountable problem. Like how does
Yes.
he prove, you know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I mean, I mean, I hope there's a human that'll just do it for human's sake.
Sure.
But if this guy, I mean, if there's money involved, that's one of the best things about lawyers is they love money. So we have to hopefully put it out in the world that maybe there's a lawyer who wants to, help out a guy for trial.
Yeah.
Right now it does sound a little bit like a prince in Nigeria right now, Sean. I got to be honest with you, but no, I remember him now. And
ladies and gentlemen, Precious Gorgeous.
What's that? Oh,
Precious Gorgeous.
Here's why it's. Hey, what's up, Ralph?
What's up? What's up?
Boys.
I have one last thing to say about this, and then we'll hang out with Ralph a little bit. It seems like an impossible problem for this person.
Yes,
but he is a single father who won custody of his kids, and he did that without having any form of identification. So he's already done something impossible.
That seems really, yeah.
So anyway, he asked me to help him find an immigration lawyer. And I'm like, I don't know how, but I'll figure out how to.
I know a girl, but I think they're specific to the state. So you'd have to be looking in Pennsylvania, not in because I had friends who were in California who had come from Korea and also from Mexico, who were just one of those what do they call the
immigration lawyer?
No, the kids. They literally call them. They have a name for these type of
dreamers.
Yeah, they're dreamers. They were brought over without consent. I mean, but smartly, they're all doing well, but now don't have papers. Right. And they're Americans who, they never lived anywhere else. So I wonder if he would fall into that dreamer situation, even if he's older.
I have no clue.
I feel like somebody knows. My friend Retha, who works, I think, at Brooklyn City Hall, she's been on the show once. She's a lawyer. She's Haitian. She might have some info.
That's great. Right. There it is. Quick. That was quick. That triple just happened.
Yeah.
You were throwing it out, and there might be a third party. Wow, that's great.
And then Ralph showed up. This just happened. Mm-hmm. Ralph, how was your morning?
It's been slow, I'm a little groggy. Just made some breakfast and took Mosh out to.
We haven't had a Ralph breakfast update in quite some time, and I was hoping you were going to get into it. What did you have?
Oh, I toasted a kind of 2 or 3 day old everything bagel. I toasted it on the fryer, and then I just scrambled some eggs with onion and cheese and spinach and cheddar cheese and spinach and what else is in there? Onion, cheese.
So many ingredients. I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a lot of ingredients.
Don't put that much stuff in your eggs?
Well, sometimes, but
if I'm to impress somebody, but if it's just for me, I really just eggs.
Why not put avocado on it?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Sometimes, well, I don't know. Before I want to comment, I want to react to the breakfast that Ralph just described, and it's just by going like this. Ah, yeah.
That's a very normal breakfast for me. That's very every day.
I do sometimes do that much to my eggs, but hearing somebody else describe it is just better than me describing it myself.
Yeah, wow.
Well, because I'm realizing it's like me and Jay keep quiet because we're not grown up. You guys have vegetables in your place, you know, like you guys have like ingredients actually, and me and Jay, we don't do that. You know, we're day-to-day
Jay right
kind of
now
guys.
looks like if there was an episode of Sopranos that was about LSD.
Ralph, you had Will Hines on North Coast. I'm too high to remember.
On the festival, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did play. We did do an all-star jam show where they got I guess I don't know how they choose a bunch of improvisers from throughout the festival and throw them in. So he did play with some other North Coasters. We did 2 sets, and I didn't get to play with him, but
I didn't get to play with him.
I haven't seen him in a while. But he did the next day, a 3-hour workshop.
Cool.
I never met him before. He's a very interesting
dude.
guy.
He's a good teacher, good guy. I got to hang out with him a couple of times. I really liked it. That's why I asked. So that's cool because I hadn't seen him in a while. Very cool.
That whole UCB world is a mystery to me. I never even set foot over there. I saw in the whole time I was in New York, I've probably seen at most 6 shows at the UCB in whatever 12, 13 years.
Do you want to reveal why you were seemingly repelled by UCB from the beginning?
Well, I remember I remember seeing shows either when I first moved to New York or I came to New York for 2 or 3 weeks the summer before I moved.
Yeah.
In the fall. So I might have seen shows then. And I remember some of them, I got to see Chris Gethard play a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And who else was there? That other lady who's always with him.
She used to be the artistic director. I know who you're talking about. Short black hair. Yeah.
So funny.
Shannon O'Neill.
Shannon O'Neill.
Got to see them play. And they were great. They were incredible. So, I mean, they were always, I remember there were some of the hardest times I ever laughed in my life, but just the culture around the UCB wasn't always my favorite. It kind of felt like going to the Apple store whenever I went over there.
Oh, yeah.
And compared to the Pit, I don't know, man. I just really confined myself to the Pit. And I just found there was just enough there for me. And the UCB always seemed like you had to fight to be over there. And I saw shows at the UC Beast. I did see a lot of shows at the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. That world just didn't seem like it was for me.
I get it, because I think I was on the other side where for a short time it was and I know only because I left being a Jehovah's Witness that to me it came off as very culty, and I don't know if it's I'm recognizing it's coming from a perspective of those two worlds, and some people are balanced with it, but for me I was completely imbalanced on it. So I totally get why you'd be creeped out. It's why I'm still creeped out by it. I don't go back and do improv much, because to me it's it does have that kind of vibe, at least in my own head.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the least of that at the Pit. I would feel some of that a little bit at Magnet too, and I don't think that's automatically negative. I think it can turn negative, but I don't think, and also might have been just in my head, but I think the Pit always just felt like it had its own culty things, but also you could just be there and not be involved in any of it. And
I think that's how it was with all of them. But I happened to be UCB and Magnet, and I danced a little bit at, the Pit. I went over there a couple of times. I think that's when I first met Sean. I think I saw Sean playing with Ernie and Acevedo, I think. I saw Sean.
I don't remember.
I think you guys are doing some kind of triple man shit. Or it might have been like that. That's the only time, that's the first couple of times I got to play, was doing the 3-man competition improv.
I will say, man, sometimes I watch UCB players and I'm just like, what in the hell are they do? How do they do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like,
No,
holy shit.
I think some of the people before my round are some of the most talented people, and there's a lot of people in my generation that are exceptional. But man, those people who I watched, like when I was taking classes, I'm still impressed by. There's a lot of good dudes. I love the UCB right before they went to UCB West when a lot of people left. I think to me there was a bit of a power vacuum that I didn't perceive at the time, but maybe there was a lot more. That's when I feel like the culture changed a little bit, at least from my perspective.
Somebody said to me, was it you, Sean? Somebody was saying, oh no, it was my friend Jared Bates. Sean knows him.
Yeah.
And he was saying like, maybe you should take it upon yourself to write like, because I think it should be done, right? Like an oral history or some sort of history of like this second wave of New York improv from the late 90s.
Yeah.
The pandemic.
I'll be honest. I don't know if I would read it.
I don't know if a lot of
improv
people
is still a thing, but it might not be a golden age. But I mean, there's people who do it out here in Thailand.
Wow.
Even though I was kind of involved, I don't know if I would read it. I don't know. It would be boring to me.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, but it's like any retrospective. It's like the SNL people probably haven't read the SNL book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the people outside of it, like, okay, if I can go back to like a 17-year-old Ralph who's dreaming of coming to New York and like,
I'd like to hear that stuff. I would. I'd like to hear
I
this.
would be like, I remember when the SNL book, that oral history, when it dropped, it took me like 12 years to finally read it, but I dreamt about it the entire time. I was always like, someday I'll read this,
Oh yeah.
And I definitely feel like that's what I'm always thinking about. I'm just thinking about the kids coming up.
I agree.
Outside.
I also think improv's never going to die. So if some nerd wants to read it in 80 years from now, it'll be there. I think that's a great idea. And for me, I'll tell you, me getting disconnected from that world so much, I would like to kind of see what happened because I'm so detached from it, but I still have a love of it, in that weird way. When a show goes well, man, it's like one of the most beautiful things. When a Harold collapses in on itself, it's one of the coolest things in comedy. Yeah,
it's like a nice souffle or something when it comes out.
What you do, Ralph, that the hip hop and like musical improv to me is, I did that once or twice. I think I got away with it, but man, that's terrifying, which means I have such an immense respect for you.
That's so wild to me because the last thing I want to be considered is a hip hop improviser. You know what I mean? Like I know, but it's
like one of the heroes that you do.
What's happened?
It's one of the shows that you do. That's why
I do that show, and it is a show. It is a distinction, I guess, to be on that team. Like that team is a special team. But like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be Kurt Braunohler. I'm trying to be Centralia. I'm trying to be like fucking Chris Gethard.
Ralph wants to be known as a breakfast improviser.
Yeah.
Jason, tell everybody the breakfast I made you eat this morning.
Oh shit.
There was a bunch of things going around, bacon, egg, and cheese, all that stuff and everything. But
we right now, Jason?
Yeah. I'm in the other room.
The show tonight. I might try to come to the show tonight because I don't.
Awesome, please do, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit! What? Oh man.
So there was a bunch of stuff jumping around, bacon, egg, and cheese, or maybe just some regular something from the deli or something like that. But then Sean's like, maybe we should eat healthy this morning since we're going to be doing a lot of bad to our bodies today. So we had some oatmeal. Oatmeal, but it wasn't just oatmeal.
Right.
There was there was layers to this oatmeal.
Yeah, this is curveball. Go ahead. Tell me more about this.
There was yogurt.
I wasn't expecting.
There was almond milk. There were blueberries. There were bananas. Mm-hmm. It was good.
And honey.
I forgot the honey. My favorite part.
I would have put nuts in there if I had nuts, but there was almond milk. There was nut milk.
Yeah,
that's a grown up oatmeal.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say apple cinnamon, and you put 3. He gave you 3 bags.
No,
You know,
I don't do kids oatmeal, but I also can't do plain oatmeal. It sucks.
there was a short time in my life where this is so weird, but it's probably a stoner thing. Is I would cook oatmeal down and then let it cool and sit there for like 4 hours, and then I'd eat it like a gelatinous disc.
Wow.
No other things on it.
Like you were a lumberjack.
Yeah, it was a poor man's like protein bar or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
My mom would do just like quick made oatmeal, and it should make it sweet and stuff. So what I liked was when she would burn it, and then I would eat the burnt parts off the side.
Oh,
love that shit.
I like to see. I'm that way with like Spanish rice. I like Spanish rice. I like the burnt part at the bottom. Yeah.
You know what I was until me and Sean started doing Stoner Morning Show. I was never into biscuits and gravy for breakfast. But then remember that became a thing. I started trying it out once we went on the road because biscuits and gravy are everywhere, and they're all different.
I think the first city you tried them in was Richmond, Virginia. I remember. I think.
I grew up on biscuits and gravy. My father used to make that all the time, but he and that came from being in the service. They'd call it SOS, which was, and I was always like, "Oh, what's that mean, Dad?" And he's like, "Oh, he'd always say it's SOS, like the
shit on a shingle
thing, but it's shit on a shingle." Yes,
What?
that's what they called it in the service.
Wow, man, I love a biscuit, dude. Biscuits, good biscuit.
It wasn't my favorite pastry when I was a kid, but I'm down with it now.
Man, holy moly! Sometimes I would go to like a pancake place and get. This is like real reminiscing for me because Anya and I are trying to not do sugar through the end.
Wow.
And
good luck. I did it for 4 days.
We did it on our tour too.
That's nice.
We went like a good maybe 2-3 months without sugar. And so just thinking about like pancakes or what I would do is I would get a biscuit and eat it like a pancake with butter and syrup.
Oh. He's dreaming about it now.
Oh, good, dude. Excellent. Even like a McDonald's biscuit like that. I'll take it. It's
those scientists know how to make food.
The what?
Those scientists know how to make food.
Oh yeah, man, that stuff. I hear it's not good for you, but every now and then. The other day during the North Coast Festival, I went to the McDonald's around the corner from the Gristedes, and I remember just feeling shame that like somebody like Will Hines would see me in there eating McDonald's. Like, this guy's not a real comedian. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed whenever I succumb to the McDonald's craving, which happens maybe like once every 3 months.
It happens to me out here when I get like if I do. I think it's a homesickness in a little bit of a way, but like it seems like once a month, I'll be like, I really want a fucking McDonald's cheeseburger.
Isn't it okay once a month?
What's crazy? No, but you know what's crazy? I think on my end, because I agree with you guys, because obviously I'm doing it, but on my end, just to heighten it, it's like 3 times more. It's like, when you like good Thai food there is expensive, but like here it's dirt cheap. So I'm paying like 30 cents, 40 cents for a really good meal. And it's ridiculously delicious. Like I'm never unhappy when I don't finish it, but yet I still will pay like for $10 for a burger from McDonald's.
No, those are New York prices. It's $10 here. It's getting expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, that's like 5 times as much as a good regular meal.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I was just trying to screen capture our screen because we're all on it, and I screen captured earlier because Lex, I don't know.
But I'm smoking?
Story. No. You had the ring light in one of your eyeglasses, and it made you look like a cyborg. Anyway, I was just trying to screen capture us on the Chromebook. I'm dialing in from another computer. It was difficult to do, and I realized I could just screen capture it later. I could just rewatch the video.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
It was dumb of me to even talk about it, doing it earlier, because I could do it after.
But you only triple just thought of that.
Oh, triple just.
True.
You can't beat yourself up for not thinking about it at the time.
Okay, yeah.
Are you guys all good Googlers?
I've
been trying not to Google myself for a while.
I Googled twice last night.
But oh my word.
To Tracy Morgan.
But Sean, you said you're awesome at it?
I'm very good at Googling.
How about you, Jason?
I'm good at Googling. Yeah. I find weird and interesting articles to read all the time. So yeah.
My criteria for being good at Googling, though, is like, if I don't know something, I'm pretty good at it's like, oh, how am I going to find this? I don't have any examples, but I'm pretty good at coming up with a short number of
concise words
to query to get to my answer. And I can't give you any examples. Yeah.
I feel confident in what Sean said. I'd say I could do that too.
I know that they'll have a question like, I'm trying to think of how many days did it? I don't even know, because that.
How many stories is the Empire State Building?
Something like that, but they'll type out the whole question they have in their mind, including because how many? Because Nick said this, and and then search that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, but it's strange to me that at this late a date into the internet that there's people who
still do that.
Can't.
Somebody Google who is that guy, that tall actor in that movie in the 70s.
Exactly.
That's I don't Google like I speak.
That's a great example. Yeah. And I just feel because I feel like I was good at it in 2001.
Yeah.
Wow.
You picked it up quick.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's much to pick up. It never, and I didn't see other people do it that much, so it never occurred to me that other people weren't.
Google it.
You know what this makes me think of? And I think this is going to make you guys laugh as native New Yorkers. But I feel like when I moved here, I invented the F train to the A train transfer at West 4th Street. because nobody told me how to do that.
Yep.
But I found myself having to tell people more often than I should have. When they were talking about, oh, I'm gonna have to go this way, and I'm really just no, get on the F train, transfer to West 4th, and then go to the A train. You know what I mean? I feel like I invented it, even though it's something that you can obviously do. It's something that I forget you can do.
That was great. You're proud of yourself. You're proud of yourself.
Something I forget you can do, though, is I forget you can go the one train to 14th Street and then transfer to the F train through that tunnel. I always forget you can do that.
I avoid it because I hate that walk. That tunnel bums me out.
I just realized this is the equivalent of Californians talking about highways,
Yeah.
I take the 405 to the 101.
Right. Ralph, I get that not liking that tunnel, the walk, but there's usually good art in there.
That's true. There's usually something interesting happening in that tunnel, but for some reason I've always avoided. First of all, I'll add 10 or 15 minutes to my trip if it means I don't have to transfer.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to transfer. I just want to sit and be in my thoughts uninterrupted for that 40 minutes, and then I'm where I'm at. I don't care. I hate to transfer, and then that's the worst. That walk, the only walk that seems worse than that, it might not even be as long, is the walk from all the Broadway trains at 42nd Street to the 8th Avenue trains. That tunnel that you have to go through in the middle there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
You know what's depressing about that tunnel is if you're walking from a certain direction, there's words along the top that when you read it are just sort of commuting sucks.
Really?
It's kind of, I forget exactly what it says. Maybe they took it down, but it was there for a while. But the words that you read, it ends up turning into a sentence that
is depressing.
the messages are sort of like, isn't this shitty that what we're doing? I think.
Yeah, and those people we're always next to. They're not so much there anymore, but like the very strange font Jesus people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm a Jesus person, but strange font Jesus people, no, it's creepy, man.
Strange font Jesus people, like the old.
They have the big
like
signs, but the lettering
gospel?
is all kooky.
Oh, okay.
It's like Jesus is coming, but it's like the X-Files, an X-Files alien wrote it, and it's like, why are you being so scary?
Yeah. Okay. I just Googled. I wasn't paying attention to what Ralph was saying, and I do apologize, but I just Googled 42nd Street tunnel word art.
Did you get it on your first try?
I got it on the second try.
Nice. Good Googling. You're a little choppy, Sean. At least
they're trying to stifle this information.
Yep. This is good information. They're killing it. Jay, this is how it feels most of the time when you're talking.
Oh, yeah?
This is exactly what happens with you.
Nice.
Poem.
Thank you, Ralph.
Big brothers.
Sean.
Big brothers upon us.
Okay.
Jason, are you at Sean's house right now? Are you at Sean's house right now?
Yeah, I'm at Sean's house.
Sean, you could.
Sean, you should come inside and retell your story.
Yeah, that was way easier. What were you doing?
Come sit on the bench, Sean.
I'm doing hand gestures.
Let me see. I'm gonna open this link for Sean and see what it was. You guys check
it's
my
the
internet to make sure I'm not
It's the artist. I think Gotham artist.
I thought it would be funny if I came in like this was some big chore. Here, I'll still have Jason read this since. Where is it? There we go. I'll have Jason read it.
Can you share the screen, or is it not pictures? It's reading.
Oh, I can do that too.
Not as fun.
Overslept.
Jason, still read it then.
Depressing as fuck poem that's been in the subway tunnel since the 90s.
Oh, so it's not even graffiti.
No, but see how it is? It's like it's words that are up here.
Whoa, I never noticed that.
Maybe there's
Good for you, Ralph.
Here it is.
All right. Overslept, tired. If late, get fired. Why bother? Why the pain? Just go home. Do it again.
Yeah.
That's
in the 42nd Street tunnel.
Maybe subliminally, subconsciously, I've always known that was there, and I didn't want. That's why I don't like that tunnel.
Sure. Yeah.
Well,
they don't make it
a lot of
better.
Ways, I'll say in a lot of ways too. Even though sometimes I'm sure all our days, my day right now feels repetitive, but we're blessed in a lot of ways with not having that life of being like the 9 to 5 or either. I mean, we've all done it, I think, right?
Is there more?
Yeah.
But you have that less free. Man, if you're that dude waking up the 9 to 5, waking up at 7:30 in the morning, I did that. Oh, getting all dressed in this monkey suit just to go be somebody else for 8 hours.
See,
then you get to.
There's not a. I don't know. I'm not chasing that life, but I also don't fault anyone else for doing it.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
Like
it's a special person that could do it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the need to like dump on it, I guess. It's just sort of like, I don't know.
Well, it
wasn't for me.
Right?
It wasn't for me, although the way I live currently also kind of probably isn't that great.
But I'll throw this out there that anybody who's feeling like that, it's a choice that we all choose to at some point do that for whatever reasons we had made choices to get there. So it's your choice to stay in it. It's your choice to change your perspective as to why you're doing it. And it's also your choice to get out. You're not trapped. You can make a bear suit you whatever you have to do, right? If you're locked up as a lawyer, like you just don't know you're a lawyer yet. Just go become a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good news, guys. I did quit my job, and I've been doing this stuff and other small stuff, like trying to make money. So, and it's been working out. So hopefully,
me too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not particularly working out, but it is working out. I mean, it's better.
I'm living.
When did you quit your job?
A month and a half ago.
Oh, we didn't know.
I don't think my job knew either. I just didn't show up.
Oh.
But it worked out. Can I tell you how much it worked out? Because 2 weeks later, everybody at the job got COVID.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and you only had COVID for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make it seem like to them that you gave it to them, probably.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I know the person who did.
Oh, all right.
Sean, do you remember,
good guy.
Do you remember, Sean, like back in, 2014, 15, when you were coaching the hand-me-downs, how often I was in like existential despair over like, where will I work? What will I do? What's going on?
A little bit.
Do you remember that? I was probably already on my way out of it even by then.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, so by then I'd been in New York since, let's say, 2008, from the beginning of 2008, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'd already been 7 years of just like everyday scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
Stay alive, dude. Some weeks I lived on like $3 or $4 or $5.
But that's amazing, because like last year, you and your girlfriend bought a van and traveled across the country.
I think that's the only reason we can do stuff like that, because I've already lived that life.
You learned how to. Yeah, you learned it.
Mm.
Yeah, when I was out in California, I was doing like just whatever you had to do to get by, and then I also, when I got back to New York, and this is why I say it to anybody who watches this, like I made the choice to go back to the 9-to-5 kind of thing. Just because I had to survive. I was living in New York. I worked at a deli for a little bit because I just wanted to do something different. But then I was like, shit, I got to go sell insurance. Mm-hmm. But what I realized was my time was what I was selling to these people. So my price went up. Like like what I knew I was bringing to the table. Mm-hmm. But what I realized, it wasn't just that, but it was that I was selling my time.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to say like, what's worth it? Like how invested are you in it, and I got a plan to get the fuck out of that quick,
Hey, Lex, are you celebrating Halloween out in Bangkok? I think we've talked about it before, but is there Halloween things that happen?
Yeah, at least yes. But it's funny because they do this is they don't dress up. A lot of people don't dress up in silly costumes or anything. They dress up like they just got into a motorbike accident. Like everybody's walking around wounded. That's their kind of that's what most of the Thai people do. But there will be parties. I'm like, well, I don't think it'll happen this year, but I just heard a rumor today that I think November 1st that they're opening up almost everything, which is good, except for tourism. Still, tourism, I still think you got to quarantine, but I think that's gonna loosen the restrictions, or at least except for curfew might move to like midnight, something like that. But at least everything gets to open again. We still have a curfew.
Yeah.
Again, it's I think just because of they're trying to quiet the protests. I bet you guys don't even They don't even talk about it over there. Right?
I haven't even heard anything aside from you telling me about the protests. I haven't heard anything.
No, I hear about political protests a little once in a while. I don't hear about
quarantine protests. No. It's political protests. That's why they're not protesting. Yeah.
Cool. I do try to seek out. I don't know. I do try to watch the news or like check out BBC.com. I don't know why.
No. You know what? Where do you guys get your information from?
The AP, the routers, stuff like that. I try to stay away from the big media companies because
Alex
I feel like everything like that is swayed.
and Drudge. That's where I get my shit.
Mm.
Alex Jones and Drudge.
Exclusively.
And Bill, and actually Bill Suter gives me most of my information.
Vice
He's
News,
my new-
Vice News is really good. I get a lot of information from there.
Hey, we are a morning show. If we ever want, I wonder if we could pitch Bill Suter to do a news segment for us. Come on,
That'd be
kind of
great.
like Christine Marie was doing a craft segment.
Oh
I wonder
yeah.
if he'd be down. If he's watching.
He's watching.
Well, he was just watching, or he just commented. We don't know if he's just watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently. Just, I don't know, to be more clear, I guess. We've got, is this YouTube?
Yeah,
over
that's
here?
YouTube.
We have a lot of people commenting on YouTube, and we have,
Great.
and there's been a lot of not paying attention on our end going on. So just, I don't know what people are saying, but they're there.
Do you want to catch up? We could do that. I'm open.
It was just conversations I was having with Dr. Kendrick and Don Don.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. Caught up.
Caught up.
Yeah.
Did it.
All right. Well, we're almost done. We have like 15 minutes left. Hopefully, Ralph will be back in time. He went to take his dog out.
It's again this went fast. This episode went fast for me.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this. I'm glad we did it again.
I will say it went fast until just now, kind of. When I noticed we have like 15 minutes left.
Just now.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we have 15 minutes left, which isn't long, but.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me grab a moment. This week it was cool. I got a life experience, and it was really fun. Charles the French, who's been on here before.
Yeah.
He does magic acts, but he's more well known for on the internet, and anybody can check him out. He's very funny. It's a different style. It's a very French comedy style, is what I'm learning.
Yeah.
But he just came out with his first special, and he got a little small theater that they play that I've never been to. It's like a bar that has a 9-seat theater upstairs, and he rented it out, and he let us watch his first special, which is free on YouTube. So if anybody wants to just Google Charles the French, this is absurd. I'm just really proud of him. It's not, it's very silly, and it's musical, and it's French. Not that he speaks French; it's just French style.
Yeah.
So
I do plan on watching it. I saw that you posted about it, and I already went to the video and then liked it. So it's in my liked videos on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will watch it.
And it's as a friend, it's nice to see like a contemporary, like he told me he wrote this whole last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like his show, like the shows that we were doing right before COVID got locked down, he had done like 2 or 3 of what I saw. So I knew 2 or 3 of his songs that were on there. But he actually wrote like the transitions and everything over the last year. And then he shot it only because the restriction just kind of loosened a little bit, all in the month of September, and has it already edited.
Wow.
And he did all that himself. You
Yeah.
know? And I'm just super impressed. And it looks beautiful. It's dope.
Yeah, I need to start shooting stuff with a better camera. When I put out the convention footage that I got, it's all going to be shaky and like from a cheap prosumer camera, but hopefully it's funny.
They do have, on the editing, and if you don't have it, then I promise I will edit it for you, is they do have the correction on most editing.
That's, yeah.
I have my $400 gimbal that I have to still learn how to use.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't bring it with me.
Soon.
So next time I come, I'll bring it.
Yeah. Well, try to find some conventions that are happening near, I don't know, Buffalo or Ithaca, or next time there's one going on in New York, come here for that one.
Yeah. Once you have it in your hand, you're gonna want to use it. It is fun. It does make it like you guys have seen the Buddy in Bangkok stuff. That's all shot on gimbal. I would not be able to do it without a gimbal. It makes you want to make it look cool. Yeah.
It's
fun.
When I think when Ralph gets back, we'll try to put the last however many minutes of the show on him.
Sure, that would be nice.
Just because he joined late.
Hey, and I'm going to remind anybody too, if they haven't donated, if you said that people have donated this week since the last marathon.
Oh yeah,
that means that they probably still can if they want to.
Can. Let's look up and see what it is. That's it might be above. It's at 1080, which the last donation we got was 2 days ago. So people are still doing it. Yeah.
Great.
It is. I agree. I would have been super impressed if we raised 10 grand in a day.
Yeah.
I'll be honest that I'm bummed that we didn't get closer, but
someday we will.
We did have a lot of fun and
we did
and have
and it helps. And also I want everybody to know that it helps. It's not like it didn't go anywhere. Right. Like it's still literally helping. It's a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
Maybe put it all into Ethereum and
watch
it moon.
No, he's still gonna.
No, do you mean don't gamble? Don't gamble?
No, I mean he's still gonna use it towards what he said. You know what I mean? It's not like we said he was gonna raise money for this and then he's gonna do something different with it. He's still.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I because I don't want because I know we didn't hit our goals, but that's what I just want everybody to know who did help. That still helped.
Yeah. It's in progress of helping, even still.
Yeah.
All right.
Be proud.
Damn, there he is. Did you put on a sweatshirt?
No, he had that on.
Yeah, it's cold.
You had that on. Oh, those are lovely colors. They go well together, and they go well with you.
Man,
I always want to see you in your judge shirt. Always.
Judge?
Oh yeah.
I love that shirt.
Color to my life, man. I don't know what it was. I think, Sean, maybe the whole time you knew me, I was in very monochrome, like not muted colors, but very. I don't know what that was.
Earth tone overalls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you probably saw me in suspenders era as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wasn't wearing any colors back then. I didn't notice it was happening, and it lasted for a long time. So
yeah, I have too many black T-shirts. It happened by accident. Anyway, Ralph, we're gonna give you the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, just do whatever you want, Ralph.
Yeah. I mean, we're here too,
Please.
Of course. Yeah, we're here too.
I got nothing. Hey, you know what's nice? I've been. You guys know the Red Bastard?
Yeah, the clown.
Yeah. Eric Davis. He's one of my mentors. Anyway, it's just nice because, I remember I was walking through a neighborhood. He will Marco Polo me sometimes from wherever he is. I think he's in LA right now, or in Jersey. You never know. And he'll Marco Polo me sometime and just talk to me about what's going on with him. And I remember when I met him was right when I met Jeff Seal and Chris Roberti and all those guys because he was working with them on a show.
Yeah.
And all those guys, I just remember, I'm green. I'm fresh out of college. I just moved to New York. I just somehow landed getting to hang out with these guys and do an internship. And I remember it was a year before I felt like Eric even trusted me. It was he was like, what's this black kid doing? Coming around all the time, and I was just coming around all the time. And it's super nice when you have a mentor and you start to feel they care about what you have to say and they want to reach out to you. It's super. I never lose, it goes away, but then it always comes back really strong, in unexpected moments. You know what I mean? When you have somebody you look up to and you're like, oh wow, this person is my
guru.
Well, this person is my guru, but is also my friend now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's nice.
I don't know. I feel like
trusted associate.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's a funny funky feeling. I feel like I should get over that. I still, if you had, in college, you might have professors that let you call them by your first name, by their first name. eventually that becomes normal, but every now and then I get jolted by that feeling like this is weird,
Yes, I agree.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's what I wanted to talk about. The progression of life is so
Interesting.
fascinating.
Yes, it is.
My
yeah.
stance sometimes is that I try not to be surprised by stuff, because then I think the surprise somehow cuts me off from having more surprising things happen. And maybe that's
Wait, what? But then you're perpetually stopping surprise.
no. It's welcoming sometimes
the
being
first wave of surprise.
No, sometimes being like over surprised by it in some ways is a denial that it's happening.
Oh wow!
So I don't want to deny that good things happen by being like,
Oh,
so you try to be more present.
Point. I've never.
That is good point.
But but that might be self-sabotaging in some way.
It's all interesting. Like I wrote something today. I keep thinking about, like, maybe I should spend some time today reading one of these marketing books that I bought.
My homework.
I bought all these books and that I wanted to read. I should read some of them. But I was writing something about Precious Gorgeous, and I thought a lot about how, like, I feel like, the show The Wonder Years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember strongly identifying with that as a kid, but I realized we've been revisiting it because we're going to try to watch the new one. So I really want to rewatch the old one first.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this feeling that, like, I still feel very much like Kevin Arnold now, in my late 30s. I still feel like that. I still feel like
you're just not as attracted to Topanga anymore.
That's Boy Meets World. That's Ben.
Yeah.
But essentially the same. Essentially,
it's the same reference.
He's not attracted to Winnie Cooper anymore.
I just wanted to Winnie Cooper. That's what
I'm still attracted to Winnie Cooper. I'm still attracted to Peng. I still. That's the thing. Like,
I was just making a joke.
No, but I totally get that. Like that old. I
asked my friend once who has kids, like, what, because I'm like, man, I feel like he has his life together from, the superficiality that I see. He seems really happy, and I'm really happy for him. So I was asking him, like, when do you feel like a grown-up? Because, and he's like, the only time he felt like a grown-up was when he was disciplining his kids.
Wow.
That's the only time and other than that, he's still, bumblefucking his way through life like we are,
Yeah.
But I thought that was, but it's kind of cool. I mean, at least he takes the job seriously. That's the time to act like an adult, I guess.
Yeah. Probably you need to. I've had this feeling lately of like New York, especially. Like, okay, last night when I was talking to Eric, I was walking through a neighborhood that I remember I walked through to go do an internship for. I was interviewing to do an internship for this theater company that later they all went on, like, they all have like thousands of followers now, and they're like kind of a little bit of a big deal. And I remember I was walking through this Red Hook neighborhood to go meet them, and I remember feeling so small in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just come from Jalopy, where, like, not only a friend of mine was doing a show there, and I remember going to Jalopy and being like, what's this place? A friend of mine was doing a show there. Plus, when I showed up, another musician friend I know was a bartender there. So it was like returning to your childhood house, and it still has the same charm, but you're a little bit taller and it looks smaller.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, like, Brooklyn felt in that moment. Like, it's still Brooklyn, but I'm a little bit taller and it feels a little bit smaller. Do you guys ever have the? Yes, to answer you, Ralph. But how about, let me throw this by you? Do you remember? Can you have a memory of you sitting on the toilet without your feet touching the ground?
Yeah.
Think about that.
I don't know that I have a real one. No.
Yeah.
How about in a hiding spot that you were like too small to fit in? Like, now you're way too small, but at the time it was like super easy and convenient. Do you remember any kind of hiding spot when you were a kid?
I could never fit into small spaces when I was a kid. I was still this big.
I used to, I used to climb into a cupboard, like on the ground, like not underneath the sink, but on the other side, underneath the counter. I used to climb in there, like push the rice out of the way, and like sit in there.
And you think about how small you were, and you have that memory still as a grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy that you're not that same person, but you are that same person?
Do you think butterflies remember what it was like being caterpillars?
Oh,
Or they're just like,
shit.
I know what this feels like now, and that's it.
So and I feel like not to get too, because that's so fun to think about, but that's also what we're doing now. Like, that's how it's going to be.
All right.
Like, yeah.
I'm just going to really quick Google, can butterflies remember being caterpillars?
Don't you think, Ralph? That's kind of like you, because I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think we're gonna hopefully we stay, as we go through life, we stay humble, we're successful and humble, and we'll probably still feel all like that,
Yeah, it's true.
All right, this is from
it's not true, and it's true. Go ahead.
This is from a kid's website. Not to belittle us, but do butterflies
still in the morning show?
Yeah. Do butterflies remember being caterpillars? This is from theconversation.com/curiouskids. All right. I think it is highly unlikely that a butterfly or moth remembers being a caterpillar. However, it may well remember some experiences it learned as a caterpillar. All right. There's more stuff here. So that's the answer. I guess do more reading on your own unless you want me to read all of it, but it's too much.
This just made my heart burst. All right.
Oh, no.
What?
That was cool.
What? Keep reading. Read it out loud.
It says the fact that it itself, especially amazing because inside the pupa or the chrysalis, the caterpillar actually turns into liquid and transforms into a butterfly or a moth. So it's totally not the same thing, but it still retains some sort of memories.
That's more of a change than I knew. I didn't know it turned into liquid.
Imagine turning into a liquid before I came this.
Yeah, you were jizz.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was a liquid before that, but I don't remember the liquid state.
Hey, you guys ever watched any of Duncan Trussell's cartoon on Morning Gospel on Netflix?
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
We don't have a Netflix account right now, and I'm fucking up. There's so much.
I'll give it to you, Ralph. I'll private message you my thing. You can create a thing.
No, don't do that. No, we're gonna.
And then you could send the money. This is my new thought with Netflix. And then if you want to, you pick a place that you can donate the same money, and instead of giving it to Netflix, just throw that $10 towards another donation.
But Ralph could also just donate money because it sounds like he doesn't want to mess with Netflix at all.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
The only reason I don't have Netflix is because we had to choose because YouTube TV is so expensive, and we have a Judge Judy habit to support.
All right. Either way, just the one episode that I'll throw by you guys to watch is, if you haven't seen it yet, is when he has an interview with his mother, who had now already passed. She had just passed away. From
I think cancer. I cried that episode.
Yeah, it's beautiful and funny and so cool. The first question he asks is, how is it having me as a son? Like, what a great question, right? Beautiful episode.
Oh God, that just made me sad, but in a bright way.
Okay. No, you'll yeah.
They're sweet tears. They're not like
sweet.
It's love. It's love.
Loving tears.
All right, boys. I'll probably see you tonight. Is that the same spot?
Yeah, Producers Club, 44th and 9th. 8:30. 8 or 8:30.
Stone Labs.
Yeah. Go buy tickets now.
Yeah.
All right.
Sponsored by King and Queens of Fusions.
Oh, it's going to be delicious. Mac and cheese, people. Mac and cheese.
Oh, and weed. And Joe.
Yeah, you can't have any, Ralph.
All right.
You can have some. I won't tell.
All right.
Hey, also thank you to Regular Cat Radio, and thank you for everybody that's going to listen tomorrow morning on the West Coast.
Monday morning.
Ooh.